Yo, we're back. We're back. Yesterday I couldn't even upload because one of my cameras stopped working. But today we're back. It's back on point. So anyway, let's quickly view something. What is going on now? We know that we are currently above new territories. Alright. Currently we're above new territories. We've broken this high here. This external high here. And then on EGU, that'll be us tapping into this point here, which this is after BOS, but it carried on this move here, and this is the top side, so we can draw that out. But I'm just gonna disqualify that in a minute when I tell you where it is, but we can still use it to trade. Nevertheless, alright, cool. So this is a week, say a week supply. And cool. So let's look at it now. What do we have? We currently have a complex pullback to this point here. This is weak, so we know we could come and have a little reaction because we just broken, taking out all this liquidity here. So we can come mitigate that. Where's the last mitigation bit that we could come to? We can come all the way to here. And with this one, we could come all the way. This is 4H. 1 hour, let's see something. Okay. Essentially, we can come to here, but this seems to be, this is what led to the new break, so we're currently dealing with this. I know it's not what led to BOS, but all of this on a 4H and that is no matter too tough. We just want to come on an M30 and see what's really going on. Currently, we know that we've got a daily profile playing out. Why we haven't had Asia high taken, we've had the low taken, and currently what do we have? Prices is going down and down and down. So this is the new. There's equal lows here, so we could be coming to target that. That's for sure. What is that at the same time where we had the equal lows? Exactly, where the equal lows is where EU saying that we could come to. This is just all look at it hindsight. Wait for it to read on the M30. What do we currently have? We have build up, inducement, and we've come and broken this point here, and we haven't tapped into that point there. So we haven't had this point here, and we haven't tapped into. This is the last point. Could be here or it could be here, but we ain't tapped into none of that yet. We tapped into here though, but we're just creating again. Today I don't know where it is, but my English ain't here, so allow me. But yeah, we've come down. We ain't really broken nothing. So it's here. We've come down. We've just broken internal ranges. So we had this internal range. Internal high and internal low. The reason I'm rushing here, because literally banging at London Open, if this is the right daily profile I'm looking at, it might just come mitigate something right here, midpoint of Asia, and keep going, which could be this. So I'm just being fast, but yet careful. You know, this is liquidity. If we're to read market structure, this is where the last market structure cycle happened, where we had this happen. So we could say that, okay, cool. Daily could be in this zone here. We'll refine it when we get here, right? But we know that we could come all the way down to here. Perfect. First look at M5 on this one as well. What do we have? We have, okay, this is where the liquidity was taken. So again, let's just refine it to here. For now, we know that this can fail, and also this is where the actual point was. If we look at it as well, it's true, because from there, this is the last high that was made and broke it here. So ideally, this is the zone that we're looking for price to come to. So let's just take this and do that. And we have the extreme here. However, we know that, bro, price is nowhere near here. Cool. I mean, we just had all of that nonsense, so we could just dive down. But price, there's nothing it can. Like, it's not gonna make that now. It could head there for today. Do you get where I'm coming from, though? That's what we know. So anyway, I'm going to M5. What do I read? M5. Okay, we're on M5 there. I need to see both inducements on there. So build up, inducement, breaker structure. But if I was to read this, we had, we've come and tapped into this again. So it's a bit of a techie one. We haven't broken the structure yet. But internally, we have, and the decision of this that went here has been broken. We took it, went there again, and this has been broken. So we could say that we could come down to here. Right. And if I go on the M1, is that reasonable? Breaker structure straight. Yeah. So they could take this liquidity here. So let's just say that London Open, we could just go flying down. Come in to take all of this liquidity. Maybe tap into this point here. Right now I'm just marking it out, but I'll define it later. And then, as I said, we have liquidity built up here, mitigating this point here. And then we haven't made a low yet. Or have we? It's just equal lows. So we know that we could be coming down. What is a liquidity cycle that we could use to come down? M3 looks like it might be better for us right now. Market structure is not yet bearish. Internal it is, but we haven't reached any point of zones that I could say, you know what, we could turn from, and this could just be an inducement of liquidity. But we know that we went up, came down, 1, 2. So we have a 2 leg, again, we came and retraced. Tapped it in there, came down, had this trend line now. Like we have 2 trend lines. So even though daily profile we're looking at is bearish, yeah. But I can't confirm it yet because this could also be an inducement to go up. But I know that. One sec. Let me just load up the thing. So where did I put it? Alright, cool. Scally draw. So what daily profile would it be? Let's see something. So you have normal buy. Okay, cool. So we know there's a sell. There's a sell. It's not going to be the normal protraction. It's going to be the delayed one, right? Because Asia High didn't get taken. We came down, made this internal low from making these. Look, let's read it again. This is the decisional being broken. This point here is the decisional. Why is it a decisional? Because if this is the breaker structure, we went up, came down, went up again, and even went up like that. So ideally, if we were to look at it, what led to this break? I'm just gonna classify it as was this. That came at leg number 1, leg number 2, breaking this. Came, mitigated, came back down again, took it out. However, if I'm looking at it properly, I know we're coming down to here. But at the same time, potentially we take this according to market structure. But the thing is, let's read the daily profiles again. Where was it? It was bang on. So we could just have a reaction now. But look, the reason I don't want to do that is because, let me see something. This could also happen. London High hasn't been taken. Cool, Frankfurt. But London Open, we should have broken this. But we could be going to do that. Do you get where I'm coming from? So we can't really. I know that looks more like this. Because 2 a.m. Let me see something. But then we could also have a buyer protraction because we know that this is a weak demand zone. Do you get where I'm coming from? So we can't just predict it. It's not daily profile is not just straightforward as I was making it seem like. It looks like it, but it's not really like it. So now we need to make sure which one is going to play out. Is it because currently we're selling because we haven't met the extreme yet. But the same used to say that this can't be something like this. A buyer profile where we go up, right? But we didn't take our Asia high, so that's disqualified as well. So you can look into the delayed protraction sell day. I think this one makes more sense to chase the demand zones that we created yesterday with equal highs and lows. And currently 2 p.m. No, see, but the thing is at 2 a.m. it was meant to break structure from 0:12 to 2 a.m. It's meant to break structure. And it did, but this is the structure we're looking for that to break. So I won't lie, no trade yet because market structure is not really clear. And if we're chasing to come down to, what's it called, demand zones, this could essentially just be us just using that daily profile to come down to here. And maybe if you take that out, tap it to somewhere, here they go up. But it looks like it was daily profile. I did say though, London Open, we're just gonna dive. But there's no entry. I can predict these things, but I haven't got the entry where I'm comfortable with. But if I was to look at it, it would be this. Yeah, this didn't break none of that. So we could come back down. We can come back up and mitigate this portion here as a decisional, like this. But where is the inducement? The inducement happened all the way up there. Taking out that. There's no inducement here. If I go on the M1, what do I see? Okay, we kind of have like a build up here though. A build up. An inducement mitigating this point here. This was broken. This was okay. If EU shows me the same thing, I might consider. Right, EU dived. EU also has an inducement. This. And do something like here. I don't want to just enter though, because you could just get banned. What we tap that? If we have, I might not. Okay, cool. But then, where did this happen? Okay. So where do you reckon EU will go up to? Because this sort of inducements are scary. I don't trust these ones. But this one here, yeah, again, is that we could come back down. We could just get a break even. Is it worth doing it? Or should I just let it be? Because ideally, we could get in and get a break even and it could reverse on us. So in terms of the probabilities of the trade, is it worth it? Break even, or we might not even get there, we just come back down again. Oh well. Got a bit of risk to play with, so let's see what happens. But if I go on an M5 on E quickly, the inducement actually is from here. This is the inducement high. Alright. And where would the decisional be? Decisional would be at this point here with a fair value gap to say here. So for price to go up there and for price to go up here, I don't know which one I should be following. You know, I'm coming from. Why is my wicks not on? No wonder. Nah, this is valid. It's actually valid. But it's crazy. You don't want to get it. I think it's valid, but if I get banned, I get banned. What's my thing? 0.5. Yeah, I think that's good to go, man. GU details. Why is it not letting me enter? Let me see, is that even the 50%? I haven't even touched 50% yet. And you're looking to enter. Oh, y'all bastard. Y'all bastard, big man. Nah, cool, let's wait. Because this one, yeah, I don't know. Let me just look at it again. I want to look at it again before price flies away. Because, yeah, we're in a protraction, a delayed protraction sell day. So we could just tap it and go. And I don't want to miss it and hesitate like yesterday. I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm about to hesitate. I'm trying to hesitate. Because you see me, if I don't like it, I don't like it. If it's not clear enough, there's no point in taking it. There's so many, this happens every single day. So like, there's no point forcing it if it's not even there yet. But essentially, this would be the extreme of the, so inducement supply basically, and then you have the decisional here. I'm going to for a minute. You have the decisional here. Which led to this break, and we've come down to these zones here. But you see how we tapped it now. Still, I won't really. Oh shit, that was it, man. I rubbed it. Should have set a limit. Fuck. I've been hesitating recently, but maybe I'm right. The reason why I'm hesitating this, innit? I'm hesitating this. I'm not really trusting this one like that. Because remember, you see when you're trading, there's two systems you're playing with. You have system 1, which is like the fast one. You see something it wants you to get. And then you have system 2, which allows you to process everything properly. When I process everything properly, yes, this makes sense. But if I was to go really and truly, it will be here. So ideally, this point here. And there I can set something, but hey, let's see what happens. Cause this will be the last up candles basically. So I'm expecting another one that maybe going, or you could just go straight down. But it's because this hasn't been mitigated yet. But no, let's read this thing. Because if we read this, it might help us. Yeah. So we can say this is where it came from. From here, we came down, didn't break it. Came here again, went down, didn't break it. And then we broke. So this point ideally broke it. And we broke it, came, induced. So, bro, that was the entry, fam. You hezzy this again. What's wrong with me? I think I've got that feel of losing. I don't know what it is, man. I think I got the feel of losing because this is essentially what I'm trading. But I'm waiting for a higher move. Like, I don't know, man. It's something just not right. And I think what's not right is this M15 bit here, bro. This point here. Because essentially, when you look at the current scenario we're in, this would be the efficiency of the pullback of the sell. So, if we've hit this point, ideally anywhere here, and it's just off something like this, sweep, and then we came down, tapped it, mate, getting in here is not, even though daily profile is saying, yeah, we're going to keep mitigating internal lows or whatever it is, I still don't trust that because daily profile is just a guide. Market structure also can be wrong as well. So yeah, we had internal break, but are we going to have the external break? And I believe, yeah, maybe was right. This fair value gap was the entry. 0.5. But hey, I don't mind saying it out. I don't mind saying it out. Honestly, don't mind saying it out. Yeah. See, this is where we would have got the break even. I'm just saying. I've been hezzy in trades recently. It's like I'm looking for perfection. It's not good. That's why this funded challenge is being taken time. It's been like 2 weeks now, I think, or a week, one of them. I think 2 weeks. It's because I've been after I blew my funded on live, yeah. I don't know why. I've just been on hezzy mode. But that's all part of psychology, though. In terms of what we want to see, we're seeing it. But then we're overlaying with other crazy things. But yeah, man. We're going to see it fly through all of this shit. That was the entry right there. I don't know why I hesitated like that. I've done the same shit yesterday. I need to stop doing that. It's not good. That's not good, is it? But it happens. Trading, sometimes you go into mental battles, like what I'm talking about, where you see things, but it's up to you. To me, I know myself, and so when I hesitate, yeah, I get it. It might seem like, bro, you should have just taken and put risk on. Fair enough. I did say this at the beginning when I see myself at risk. But sometimes, yeah, you have to consider the environment. The environment is, well, today we got bad news. Fair enough. We haven't mitigated any high time frame PD arrays yet, or zones, let's just say. We haven't, not yet. So it makes sense for us to have a sell day to come down. That's true. But where I rubbed is, I'm thinking this is the efficiency of the pullback. But we know that if that is decisional, then this is some bullshit, and this is essentially the extreme. So we ain't had none of that yet. But again, I guess I'm just gonna have to look at it, smile at it, because we knew what was going to happen, but we hesitated. To me, I don't mind. But if you're watching these things, trust me, when I fix my mindset, yeah, when I fix my psychology of not giving two fucks, that's when you're gonna see. I have these things. It's like I go through these periods where I'm more careful picking the trades that I like to take. Then I get in a mood where I just go straight. So this one is that I get it. This one is just I'm adding feelings and all of that stuff to it. It's just not good, innit? I hear that. But I don't have to. Right now is that I'm stuck in it. But obviously, what's it called? We're gonna overcome that. Because we did the same thing happen around May, where we knew what price is going to do. But obviously we only entered when we felt comfortable. But then we got to a point where we saw exactly what we wanted. Like for something like this. This is exactly what we have, a sweep, boom, boom. It is what I wanted. However, where we are will have me thinking something else. But daily profile's on our side. And this is on our side. And if I read it properly, we ain't had no efficiency to pullback yet. So we could carry on going. Do you know where I'm coming from? It makes sense for us to carry on going, following daily profile. But let's see what happens. Maybe my intuition was right and we just get a break even. I saved myself from that. My whole thing is this point here. This will be the demand zone, yeah. And we've done this and we tapped into that. So even I hesitate, I still have a justification. When I say I hesitate and all these things, I'm not saying, oh, like, my setup is there, everything's perfect, I'm not taking it. No. I just want it to be perfect. If it's not perfect, I don't like taking it, because then something else could happen. And then what happens is, let's say, let me just do this. So let's say this, yeah. Imagine we've had this point, we've just seen my thing form, which is sweep, break structure, and let's say we tapped into this point here, right? Like this. And obviously, because we've done that, remember, this break of this will be the full break structure on the M15. Anything between there and here is just internal ranges. Yeah, internal ranges were bearish, that is true. But if we had come and broken this, it would have been a different story. And then we had this thing here, different story. I would have traded it to come here. But because, yeah, we haven't broken this yet, this is like the last point, the extreme. Even though there's equal lows here, it's still the extreme. But obviously, daily profile is telling us we're coming down. But remember, that's a guide. Then you also have market structure. So here, our price could just go back up, mitigate me from the trade if I took it as a break even. And then maybe do another inducement and come further into it. Then I might look to consider it. But still, we're still in demand. So it was a bit techie to do that. So me not trading this is only because we had this sweep and we came straight into this point here. And this point here could be an extreme which could fly price up. But we know that according to daily profile, that's not what's going to happen. But again, daily profile is not always right. We just read it and give us like a framework of what we can work with market structure plus liquidity. We know liquidity is here, so it makes sense for price to come down there. But overall, we hesitate because we know that price, like confidence is fast to come down, is high. But in terms of us getting in and dabbling with the risk, we're playing. So we should have just got in and left it. So yeah, man, I would say right now I'm in my psychology bag right now. Psychology-wise, it's not the best. It's not the best. But that's because we have parameters. It might be a bit too tight. And if it's too tight, check the data. Are we happy with the amount of executions we had this week? If we're not happy, then next week we tweak it and we become a bit more aggressive. But this week especially, you know, a lot of people are blowing their funded accounts and challenges. And me, I like to play it smooth. Yeah, dibble and dabble this week. This week I'm not heavy on risk because, bro, do you know how much news is coming out? Look at this. Look at these news, bro. Look at that. Look at this. And then look at this. And then look at this. And then look at this. Come on, man. You think London is really gonna move like that? Yeah, it could move to the PD area we're looking for, or it could keep dip like going up and down until we reach the PD area we're looking for, or the zones we're looking for. Sorry. But yeah, man. So you shouldn't just dive in. If we've had this year and we broke, and let's say it was here, and price came and retraced to like, let's say one of these, I'm happy I would have taken it. But here, yeah, even I could have set a limit and said, yeah, let me ride it, break even, worst case scenario. If not, we hit TP, which is true. This trade I would have just had a break even. But yeah, man, I won't lie, I'm just making up excuses for justifying the hezi and not believing daily. I believe in daily profile. Don't get me twisted. It's just that sometimes it doesn't play as we want it to play. Sometimes you can have two variations in one. So it could be a daily profile, the delayed protraction sell profile, yeah, until we come to demand, and then we change the bias and violate all of that. And then you have London swept Asia low, tapped into demand, and it's gone up. It's gone up. And then, yeah. So you could also have those as well. But hey, we fumbled it. We fumbled with a GU sell. It's cool though. We're building confidence. This is all confidence. Let's see what happens now. So we come further into that demand zone. If I go on an M5, what does that look like? Let's put it here. Because this whole wick would be part of the extreme. Let's see what happens. So we've gone up. We haven't broken structure yet. What happens now? Oh, how many pips is this? 11% drop in 11%. Yeah, man. Yeah, I could have done the job. Oh, no. Hey, German, though. Let's see what our dear German is saying. I forgot about all of that. Okay, break above here and return, and I'll look at something. Oh, rah. So you see that smart money chat we was talking about? We've been talking about that. This didn't tap here. Eventually we've come, and this leg has led. Oh, this leg has led. What the flip? How many legs have I got in there? Internal legs. But yeah, this leg brought us all the way down to here. Just like how I was looking at it. But we just thought, you know what, we could go all the way up here. But yeah, we just mitigated 50%. And we just, from there, we started coming down. But yeah, we've come and taken this smart money trap. And we haven't fully tapped into this yet. I don't think so. Oh, we have? Yeah, we've tapped into it. So now we have smart money trap taken. And we've also broken structure. And the decision of that would be essentially somewhere around here. So we're coming to mitigate. If we break above the decisional, then we know that the extreme is all the way up here. But yeah, man, we fucked up, man. Pounds, great. Well, that's a great British pounds. There was nothing for us. Well, there was something for us, but we missed it. But yeah, man, you see trading, there's knowing how to trade, having intuition, and not executing. Not executing is another problem that you might face, and I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's PTSD, but I don't know where the PTSD is coming from. I'm coming from. But hey, I guess I just had one of my invalidations. That's what I could say. So it led me to not trade the thing. It was my invalidation, which was we've tapped into this point here after breaking this. And then we've come into this fair value gap here. To me, I don't know, man. Something sketchy. Something very sketchy. And we could get a break even. Hence why I didn't enter. But hey, I could be wrong. I mean, why not enter and get a break even? What's wrong with that? I should have just done that. Normally I do that. But I just thought, sometimes it's not worth my psychology of getting in and I know I'm going to get taken out. But yeah, let's just watch this. I'll just call these basically like forward testing. Since the week is a bit crazy. I know bare people are losing money this week. But as for us, we're just going to read price and only get in when I feel like it's suitable. When I feel like it's suitable, I'll get in. To me, this one here, as I said previous times, from this point to this point, if I was to look on the M15, let me do this. If I was to look on the M15, where does that wick start? It starts from here. So if I was to go here and check on that M1, look, sweep straight there. That's an efficiency of the pullback. So you don't trade it. You don't look to trade here. If we didn't have that, then fairs, that is valid. But even though we tapped it, you see, we went there. If you took it, you would have had a break even. But that's not always the case. Let's say sometimes there's power here. Yeah, when we tap into it, we just reverse this whole thing. And basically an inducement came down, induced again. There's another trend line here as well. So it's a counter-inducement scenario. Hence why I didn't get in. If I'm looking at it thoroughly. But before, obviously, it felt like hezzy. But as I was saying, the hezzy was because of this, as I was stating. But daily profile is bearish. We know that. But me, I don't just rush into things. You have to wait. Where's the original point? It'll be here. This is where the last inducement happened. So let's just do extreme. Right, and then we broke this point. Then we've come and tapped into it. So we could just react off here as well. Come and break this. But to me, we're just going to read it. best thing you can do is preserve your account. When things just doesn't align with what you look for, it happens. But let's see, do we get the break even? Because if we do, I'll be happy because I sat out at the right time. Is that there was no need to get into the trade. What was the point of losing, like, let's say, because some break evens you don't always not lose nothing. The previous break evens I've been losing about, I think, like 120 or something. But we'll go through at the end of this video. Go through the current stage we are now funded. I know a lot of people have been blowing accounts. Me, I'll show you transparency. If I did, I'll show you. If the account changed, I'll show you. We haven't done none of that. We just been having break evens. So yeah. But yeah, let's see. So price is going back up. Hopefully it does and hits the break even. Then I'll be cool. Psychology is still intact, meaning that I did not hesitate there. It was just my instinct. My system 1 stating that we've tapped into the efficiency of the pullback. And my system 2 trying to justify it. And obviously it resulted to us hesitating because we knew that we could get a break even. But at the same time, in terms of where we would have taken a trade, is not where we wanted. And yeah, we've had the efficiency of the pullback. So anything could happen. Counter inducement, it could look like as well. So let's see. Do we get a break even? It looks like there's trend line there. So just because you can read daily profile and read market structure, sometimes there's invalidations to your setup. And me, that is it. Efficiency of the pullback. I don't care if I can get a break even. Because what's the point? I get it. You should be taking them though. Because you're trying to pass that account quick. But still. So if we're looking at this, would be the decisional that led us to this point here. So if we don't break that, ideally this will be order flow if we break it like this, and could come back there, mitigate and keep going. But we know that this is the extreme, and it was an extreme break. From taking out this liquidity to coming down, it was an extreme break. There's even a fair value gap here. Wait, candle number 1, 2, and 3. So we're in that third fair value gap. So I mean, it is right to get in there like that, but let's see, does it play out? Because we've had the efficiency of the pullback. Is daily profile still on? Or we're gonna come further up, take a bit of liquidity and come back down. But imagine being in this trade. Is it worth being in this trade? No. So you see, when I hesitated for a reason. I just called it hesitate, but at that time I didn't know exact reason. But then now my system 2 has configured everything properly. Bro, I didn't really hesitate. I had my invalidation show up. The trade setup was there, but I just had the invalidation show up. So yeah, the idea is there, but your invalidation is meant to stop you from taking those trades, even though you could get a break even, because sometimes you don't get a break even. In this instance, yeah, it came and gave us the break even. Other instances, it could come down, tap it, do that, fails to come back down to give us the break even, and then go up further into this point here. Then maybe further breaking this. And look, what do we have here? Trendline liquidity as well, equal highs. Then what do we have here? We had a sweep. This is the last point of that, which led to this point being broken. So which one's going to be more likely to hold? This one's might hold, because this is the actual decisional. Because this is what led for price to come and take out this point here. Look, if we read it like that. See, look. So we're about to have our break even. I'm happy. See, now I can confirm I didn't hesitate. I had a valid invalidation point. That even my system 2 or my brain struggled to identify straight away. But this would have been our break even, literally hit. So we would have held all of this down for no reason, and we had a break even, and then price is gonna move now. Then in this instance, you're gonna say, "Oh, hey, having break evens," but there was an invalidation for that break evens that happened. keep going coming from. So to me, until we break this point here, in fact, this is decisional being broken. However, there's still this point here, so no point to get in. And remember, we qualified that. Yeah, this is the third fair value gap. Let me just move this to here. So let's delete this now, one sec, because we got it in here. So breakeven would have been triggered. So it would have been out of the trade now. So let me just delete this. We know that it hit BE. Cool. Let me just bring EU again on the side. What is EU looking at? EU also came and done an inducement here. Oh. But this inducement's not really a mad inducement. Let's see, did we get the break? There was no inducement here. So this could essentially just be another counter inducement coming down to tap into here to go further up. Just like what this done. Let's see. So let's see what happens. So yeah, we're reading price. We still know that we're in a daily delayed protraction where we'll just keep coming down. But now we've tapped demand. What's gonna happen? It's going to M5. Where's the last? So where's our recent sweep? This one here, doom, came down, didn't break. It was a 2-leg. So from this point here, ideally this point here. So let's delete this one here and put that one there. Alright, cool. Just that one there, and we've come and tapped into this. We know that there's equal lows here. Yeah, we know that this ain't gonna really hold. Right, so let's put weak. Let's put weak for now. And if I was to go on, let's say M30, well, I see you went from here to here. We had a 2-leg, we have 1, and then a 2. And then, yeah, we have these lows here. Daily, if you're really going to configure it properly, you could say it will be down here. But again, it's the whole zone, so we could react from there. But we know it's going to fail, so ideally we tapped into it there. Let's go on at 10 minutes quickly. Yeah, 10 minutes. It's all there, so we tapped into it straight. Filled it so far up to here. Just leave it like that. M1. Is this M1? Oh, I was thinking. M1. Let's see what happens. But yeah, man. Just remember when you're trading, there's 2 systems that you're using. You have system 1, which is fast. Is that when I look at my setup right now, there's a PC right in front of me. That's my system 1 working. If I'm using system 2 is like solving problems. So yeah, you can look at it and say daily profile's right. Let me use system 1 to trade. But market structure, have you identified that? Is it really a breaker structure? If not, it could just be London is just coming down to mitigate that, and then buyers are going to step in and violate that daily profile, or bring all the way up here and then come back down. Meaning we've come down, hit the extreme, went up, hit a supply, a decisional maybe, and we've come back down. With this, same thing. Look, we had a sweep, came all the way down. All the way down. What do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, this straight break. So if it's a straight break, obviously, essentially, we don't know when the low is, but we know that there's a demand zone here. So this could give us the reaction to come and mitigate this and then come back down. That's what we might be able to see. Yeah, man. So no trade. 36. Let's see what we have here. It looks like we have a... Oh, let's go to M1. What are we seeing here? So this high, this what made the high. We've come up again. Remember, we're still in that fair value gap. Now I'm just looking for both of them to do an inducement. We've been there. Okay, so this has gone, hasn't breaking it yet. This took a bit of liquidity. If we come and take that out. Do we also have SMT where this went up and the other one didn't? Let me see. In fact, they both done that. Let me not lie. They both went up. So this could be demand. So until this whole thing is broken, can't really be interested. We can't even be interested. But yeah, let me bring up daily profile again. Where the hell is that? Daily profile. Yeah, man. You know, let me just copy it quickly. Copy it, and we're gonna paste it here. Oh wow, is this how it's coming at? What the flip? You know, in retrospect, even getting in here, you could get break even. Why? Because we had this sweep, broke the decisional. This is the fair value gap. Well, look how small this is. What's the point of taking that? Look how small that is, just to get your break even here. We could break this though. You know that you were following to break this, so yeah. But this is demand. We could just bounce from there. So you would have had your break even if you got in here. Break even would have been here, but you had demand tapped into. Extreme tapped into. So now extreme could now bring price all the way up. And if you didn't say your BE, you probably would have been taken out. Just how E is going to take out a high. Mitigated the decisional, which led to this break. This has come and mitigated an extreme, which led to this break. And the roll thing will be around here. So let's see what happens. Just delete that for the decisional. For people that was thinking, oh, but this is a decisional has been broken. We haven't tapped into this yet. We broke it. Here, came quickly, mitigated, came and tapped into the extreme. And now the extreme is going to power up. And if you're thinking, why is the extreme having this much strength, let's just say, we could say from here, we went and broke this point here, which led us to come down. This point here is still unmitigated. And then this point here, these points here are still unmitigated. But hey, let's see what happens. This could be divergence. This didn't make the high. This did. So this being inducement, this being what we came up just to take out inducement to maybe come down and make further inducement. But it makes no sense because this point has been broken, which is the point, this point that led to here. Came up. So this is going to fly all the way up. But there's no trade. We can read price, but getting in and there's a different story. You have to remember that. I used to struggle with it. You see, I can just pinpoint and say, yeah, price is going there, price is going there, price is going there. But bro, it doesn't mean that all of them is going to move efficiently in line with your protocols that you have in place. So what would be the point of doing that? So if I took this trade now to go a break even, so oh yeah, I got a break even. Yeah, but what's break whether I took the trade or not, I still got the same starting balance. So there was no point. There was no point putting myself in that dark mind space, all because I can see it and I also see my invalidation. So imagine, yeah, if I got in this and it came down, hit this point, and let's say it didn't even break, it didn't even give me the break even, and we went up, I would have hated myself so much because I had my invalidation, which is the efficiency of the pullback. When you have that from that sweep, like inducement push out, the inducement push out, so that inducement push out, if you have the efficiency of the pullback, there's no point trading it because this inducement, remember, when it is a lower time frame, it could just get disrespected. You want the ones that you have sweep, build up, sweep, push out, but it hasn't tapped into the efficiency of the pullback yet. Then we can look to obviously sell. This point here, you could say the first one hasn't tapped it yet. It's discretional, right? But still, it was very close to the extreme. And if I was to look at the scenarios, yeah, and so I'm gonna load up the scenarios, the potential scenarios that we could face when we come to the chart. The potential scenarios we can face when we come to the chart. Today, what do we have? We have this. This is what we have. The efficiency of the pullback. But obviously on the bearish side of things. I'll show you what I mean. Look, I hope I could lock this. I don't think it's possible. So look, let's do it like this. M15. I'll bring it back, don't worry. M15. Alright. So now look at it this way. If I was to bring it back now, what do we see? London open. This is London. Here's London, right? What do we see? This is the efficiency of the pullback. Efficiency of the pullback. Base demand. But where the hell is this? So look, this is what we're currently seeing. Price has come. Look, it's gonna make this high. It's gonna make that high. So this is like the tap, you could say. In fact, you could say this is the tap. But anyway, this is the scenario. Think of this inverse. We're in this point here. This point here, you could say is a tap. And we've come broken structure. But ideally, we haven't broken structure yet. We're in the efficiency of the pullback. You see what I mean? I think this is the one I meant. So currently, we are in the efficiency of the pullback, which would be this point here. We've come up, broken structure here, but we've come up and mitigated. Literally, this is the efficiency of the pullback. Is that the supply zone which led to this move coming down. We open, and this is where we're near. So with that could obviously trigger the daily profile just for us to mitigate something and then break it. So with that in mind, I'm not really keen on taking a daily profile unless it makes sense. Unless it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, there's no point. Because it's not in line with the bias that we have for the day. The daily profile is just to guide us after we find our bias for the day. And our bias is just simply just reading what market is doing. Where we at. As I said, we opened. The day started with us being in this efficiency of the pullback. I'll just call it efficiency of the pullback for now. Yeah, started with us being in the efficiency of the pullback. We had this point here, went up, lower, came down, broke. This is a decisional. And we've come and tapped into the extreme, which would be another efficiency of the pullback from doing that thing there. So there's no trade. Yeah, you can read it, but there's no trade. There is no trade. There is no trade. And you have to be fine with that. The moment you want to rush and get into trades, trust me, that's where your downfall will be. See how picky I am, and I'm still calm if I miss out. Even if this went and delivered like how yesterday went, where yesterday I called out the whole daily profile of a delay protraction buy profile, and it played exactly like what we predicted, but I still didn't get in. That one day I hesitated in it, but then the second trade for the New York one, I was basically hungry because the whole day I was trying to film content and that, and I didn't eat, and I thought, let me just quickly go and make a little sandwich before New York, like mid New York basically. Cause I thought where price is, we might do the inducement mid New York or at the end of New York even though. But what happened was we done it literally quarter past. But yeah. Put it like here. But anyway, if you go into this trade that we was talking about earlier, break even to the max. I did say at the beginning, it's too close to this point here. So you have to be aware of these, because even though this time we got a break even, sometimes, as I'm saying, you don't get the break even. Price will do this, will give you the entry, but it will just go back up again and take you out fully. Hence why I didn't really enter. If I'm clarifying it fully now. Before it looked like I was hesitating, right? Because we've seen that and we hasn't really tapped into it. So I was thinking, maybe. But because we're even close to it and we've tapped into it, you've got to be careful, man. So now what do I see here? Now we looks like this could be an inducement, tapping into the actual point here. This hasn't tapped into nothing. Maybe here. But again, no man's land. Nothing really there. We'll keep watching though. Day's not done. It's better to read price and wait for you what you're happy with. So when I take a trade that I'm happy with and I lose, fairs. Maybe there was an invalidation I didn't read. But if I take a trade knowing that there's an invalidation and now it becomes 50-50, what's the point of me taking a trade? There's no point in taking that trade. No point. But obviously there's a difference between not taking a trade because you're scared to take it and not taking a trade because you have an invalidation, which makes you scared to take it. If there's no justification for your scaredy cat, like your pussy behavior, then you're just a pussy. But if there's a valid reason for it, like your invalidation has been met, you're not really a pussy. You're actually a wise man, because you can forecast into the future to know that, yo, this move here is not that deep, because me taking it, me not taking it, ideally is going to be the same. And if I take it and I lose, I'm going to be more annoyed. Psychologically, I'm going to be more fucked. So what's the point? Just leave it. Hence why a lot of people have blown accounts this week, because they haven't seen, they're seeing their pattern. London open, look what we do, sweep, came down. They're looking, let's get in straight. Come on, doggy. Confirm it with market structure. Yeah, we have internal range going on. So London opening, it makes sense for us to follow that internal range, which follows the daily profile, right? But daily profile doesn't mean that it's going to work to the T. It's going to work for your London open, but to bring you, because remember, it's sell day, right? If it's a sell day and we're currently in a bullish profile, what's the sell going to do? It's going to mitigate previous demand zones and see if there's still buyers there. If there is, then price could reverse. So back in the day, I didn't understand this when I was using daily profiles. I just thought, yeah, this is where it is. Let me just load it up quickly. My daily profile, I used to think, this is where it is. This is where it is, and it should happen exactly like that. Like something like this. But this is what we're currently using. Yeah. So that this is where it is, and it should play out exactly like this. Sometimes it does, when everything's lined up. When it's not lined up with market structure, you're gonna have this come down, London come, mitigate a demand zone, and then next thing you know, you've created something like this, where we basically come down without taking on the Asia high, come down, gone up, taking Asia high now, and then maybe come down or carry on going. But yeah, man, just gotta be careful with these ones here. I think I got another profile for these, let me check. For the ones that don't work properly. Where would that be? Yeah, I can't really find it. I had another one. Yeah, man. Bro, the key window that we tapped in, it happened during London. So we could say that, yo, we could go back up, we could reverse. We could, or we could not. Look what Asia things they know. So we're in this last point now, this last candle bit now. Remember, this is after BOS here, so that could also fail. But ideally, this is what brought us down to here. So if that fails, then hey. But confirmation wise, we haven't got any yet. Yeah, confirmation wise, we ain't got any yet. 45, when did that happen? 45. Taking at 45's high. 45, where did that happen? And then we've gone and taken a high, didn't we? I've just created equal highs. Okay. So this was a complex pullback and we made it all the way to there. Now I'm just looking for a lower time frame confirmation, which would be for this to be broken, that to be broken, and not come to the extreme. That to be broken and not come to the extreme. In fact, it's actually here. This is the last down candle that led to that. So we're in a BOS here. Obviously, this is what led to that. So the extreme will be here. So the signal has been broken. All right. Oh, in here anyway. Let's see if it happens here. And let's see something. If let's say I wanted to get in, right? The signal was broken. What was the last point that led to this? Candle number 1, candle number 2, candle number 3. So let's say if we put it here. Again, too small. Look at that, too small. So I won't be really interested in this. I can't be. We know this is going to fail, right? We know that. But have we got, is this the confirmation to go and take it? Because we have tapped into this point here, which would be supply. But this supply is just basically what led to this, us coming into here. So who's to tell me that this is not the liquidity sweep and we're going up? But ideally, that is the decisional. This one broke it. This one did not break it. So you're going to come from. So the demand is actually here. This is where we're mitigating. This is where the decisional will be. And we basically come and hit the decisional. Decisional. And this came and is broken the decisional. Right? But remember, this did not lead to the break of structure here. This did. So we came down and actually tapped into maybe this point here, let's say, where we had a minor inducement here, went up, but we went up, broke structure, came down. From here we went and broke and then we came down. So this being taken is just liquidity. So this is a bit flawed because the decision hasn't been broken yet. Ugh. But yeah, man. Or you could say this is the decision which led for us to tap into that. We've broken it. This doesn't really mean nothing, and it could just fail, and this is the entry for us to come down. Following daily profile. So either way, I can't take this one as the pip count is very, very small. German, let's see. Have we got anything for us? What does this look like? If you're in the comments, before I show you the daily profile, what does this look like? I'm just going to give you a clue, yeah? Let's go on to M5. M5. This is 12 o'clock, right? 12 o'clock to 2 a.m. What did we do? Let me just mark out Asia high. Right. Bang on. What do you think we have? A delayed protraction, if you didn't know. A delayed protraction. So it looks like it's playing out. That sell idea that we had looks like it's playing out, but is it gonna play out? We don't know. We don't know. This is coming down. This is going up. 4 minutes until thing. Yeah, no trade today. So I'm just leave these two. But German, let me just a little something for everyone to kind of realize. See, look. So from here, we went from, say, midnight open to 2 p.m. Let me just put this as 4. Yeah, so okay, this way. What broke this? This would be extreme. We came down, mitigated, went up, breaking the decisional, which led us to come down. This will be the decisional. We broke it, having tapped into this point here, yeah. Look what happened. We broke it here, came down, mitigated the extreme of this bit here. Went up, broke it here. Entry, we could get in here, but ideally 1 leg, 2 leg entries here. Get in. If I was to go on a 2 minute, maybe it might be better. See, 1 leg, 2 leg, still no efficiency to the pullback. This point here could be your entry, and let's see how much it would have given us. See, it's not meeting our range. If we're really dealing with that, then we'll have to go for the low, which is the extreme. And then look, if price went above here, we still would have got a BE. There's just no trade today. No trade today. We can read price though, but no trade. Okay, it's coming down now. Let me see. Yeah. We're forming this trend line here. But yeah, man, that's 2 minutes in. 2 minutes until we're done. What I'm basically gonna say is, yeah, man, stick to your invalidations. Yeah, they'll either save you from getting into stupid trades where you lose a little bit because you had a break even, or you lose completely. But anyway, let me go and show you where we currently are in our challenge. Let me just quickly do it like this. Where we currently are on our challenge and how much we got, and kind of review any trades that I didn't show you guys. But I don't think there's any trade like that. I think just the break even that we had that day. Where the hell is my, how do you sign a client area? Alright, cool, sign in. Alright, cool, let me move it down so you don't see the, alright, cool. Perfect. So, if you remember, if you watched my previous video, you know that transparency is key to me. Currently we still 8 bills above the original thing, and what has happened? This was 2 weeks ago where we lost. This week we've only lost 129, which was the break even that we had. Last week we made 4K, had break evens and break evens. This break even hurt, but it was like this was a loss. No, this was a shave, and then ideally this is like the close. Then we had a break even. So yeah. So these two are one trade. I just shaved it because I entered. I think I made a video about this. I made a mistake and thought it was a breaker structure, but it wasn't a breaker structure yet. Fully of the decisional, and yeah, it went left. So I shaved, and then overall I ended up losing this much from this trade here, where I risked 1,500, I believe, and then this one here I risked I think 1,000, but we ended up getting break even, and yeah, again following the daily profile, this is what happened. But this is during New York, I believe. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. Nothing's really been going on. I know if you were to look at the person that you're watching on YouTube, this week and this week, they got violated. However, look, we made 4K last week. We haven't given none of that back. Not even 10% of that back yet. Maybe 10%. Obviously not that. Maybe 10%. But we ain't giving nothing back yet. Why is that? Because we're qualifying our trades. Before, I used to have wins like this, and I used to go on a mad losing streak. Or a mad winning streak. It depends.
But this time I said, let me take it slow because this week is a bit dodgy. But anyway, we've broken that decisional, as I was talking about. What led to that decisional being broken, we could say. But again, we've had the efficiency of the pullback. The last down candles open has been tapped into from this decisional being from this decisional being broken. Before I was gonna come and look to sell here and put this like this. Sell this into here. Alright. Take out the low. But at this point, there's no point. There's no point because this point led to this point. To hit this point, we know that it's going to fail, right? But still, I wanted to break first before considering it. Meaning the decisional broke it. I feel like to give myself a 15-minute buffer, but I think that's me forcing it. That's me forcing it. There's no need to force it. This shit happens every single day, so yeah, man, I'm done with this one here. Let me just go back on. I actually have to come off it because you know me, yeah. I'll say I'm done until I start seeing something. I'm like, right, it's playing that. Let me get in. But yeah, man, we know ourselves now. But anyway, back to this. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. I know a lot of people lost money this week and the previous week as well. Bro, if you just use patience, just patience alone, yeah, patience and invalidations will save you a lot of things. So this week we're minus, yeah, $129. That's fine with me. My hit rate hasn't really been up like that. As you know, I normally take like 2 to 3 trades a week anyway. So yeah, we just had our first one on Tuesday or Monday, in fact. Break even. In fact, you see this trade here, yeah. If my SO position was alright, I would have had my 1 to 3 easily. But I didn't put my SO at the lower the decision. I put at the lower the extreme. And price didn't deliver exactly how we wanted it. But it still gave us the 1 to 3 if we followed it correctly. But anyway, that marks it. Same account, as you know. Currently, I think this will be like the... what week is this? This is not good, It's that I'm taking long to pass these trades, pass these... Okay, so we had week 1, 2... This is basically 2, 3, and we're on our 4th week. We're on our 4th week. I don't blame myself, though. I think it's market, innit? It's a market. Certain trades we could have caught if we didn't hesitate, but we had our reasons. Yesterday's one, I'll just say straight hezi in London session because it was meant to be like a turtle sweep entry, but you know me, I don't know why I like seeing the confirmation right in my eyes. Like we went up, came up, then came back. We swept, went up, no efficiency to the pullback, came down and mitigated and went. But I didn't set my limit because I was a pussy. But yeah, man, it happens. But yeah, that marks it up for today's stream. If you learn something from it in terms of psychology, the only thing I'll say, remember, is it's all right to be scared in the market, but have a justification, and that justification, have data be backed by that. So me, I know that efficiency to the pullback is a no. So when I see that, regardless if the setup looks sweet or what, I will look to set out. Don't just look to set out of me, even though you see your setup form and you don't have no reason for it, you're just scared. Don't do that. That's not the way you trade. If you want to work on your mindset, try having reasons, right? Because step 8, you being scared is system A, system 1. You justifying is system 2. But you see with system 2, what it does is it refines things. So let's just say you had a sweet breaker structure and you're looking for the mitigation, right, in Asia range, and you've done it twice or 3 times, right, and there was no PDA range, you lost all of them. System 2 will tell you, yo, this is the problem. Now we're only trading if it taps into a point of interest. That's true. Sometimes you might have a no point of interest trade and it goes. But then you're aware that, you know what, maybe that's just a probability game where sometimes it doesn't tap into a POI and it goes. But majority of the times, the one that I win is when we tap into a POI. So you'll stick to that. You use system 2 to better position yourself for that. And that's what I've been doing, because trading is just literally your system 1 saying things to you, and then you impulsively indulging in them, and then finding out the hard way. But then you have to use your system 2 to decrease those impulsiveness and start acting based on exactly what you're looking for. But yeah, man, I hope you enjoyed this video. Catch me in New York, hopefully. Price is smoother, and hopefully daily profile still playing around, so then we can just use that to trade. But if not, we still got market structure, we still got liquidity, we still got our time windows, so we might be able to find something. But yeah, man, follow me, like this, share this, follow me on all socials as well, and I'll catch you later.